past 2 years globally have been a tragic reminder of the challenges countries faced in accurately counting the lives lost as well as children birthed during the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic brought into sharp focus the importance of having timely and reliable vital events data and the critical role that civil registration and vital statistics systems play in ensuring that everyone is counted for, inclusive access to vaccination, healthcare, social protection, and other government services. Civil registration experts note is first a government responsibility, therefore necessary high-level government leadership and drive towards universal registration is key for the digital transformation of civil registration and vital statistics to succeed. This is because, given competing government priorities, the leadership role must be established at the highest level possible to ensure that resources are allocated and any organizational challenges quickly resolved. Well, you must have guessed that our focus is on civil registration and vital statistics. The question is, are the citizens aware of the significance of civil registration and vital statistics to planning and national development? And how many people register births and deaths? Good question. Welcome to Nigeria Today. I am Lydia Odijochi. Don't go away. The program continues in a moment. Joining me now in the studio to provide more insights on civil registration and vital statistics, let me be gender sensitive. On my right, Sharon Oladiji.
Good evening.
Child Protection Specialist, United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF. Welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you.
And also joining us is Matthew Temidayo Sunday, Director, Civil Registration and Vital Statistics. This is your day.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, let me begin with Sharon.
Okay.
What is the difference between vital statistics system and civil registration system?
Okay, you just pick that from the concept.
Okay.
Let me flip and start with vital statistics. So what is vital? You take records, that's the statistics of birth, of death, of marriage, of divorce. There are actually 8, but the UN, has brought it that every nation, you should be able to calculate, to record the vital statistics of those in the nation. That the process of registering is the civil registration. So when you register, then you have the statistics, and then you document it. Then you use it for planning. So for example, let's take birth. So birth registration is within civil registration. Death registration is within civil registration. So to know what is happening in the nation in terms of population, you need your population to plan for the people that are being born and that are dying. So across board, when you have civil registration properly in place, then you have vital statistics that are reliable, that can be used for planning, for development purposes across the nation. I can say more, but let me stop.
Okay. I also forgot to add that Mr. Matthew Timida is from the National Population Commission. Now, what we want you to educate us here now. What is, tell us about the registration method in vital statistics.
Okay, let me first start from where Sharon stopped.
Okay.
Without the vital registration, you can't generate vital statistics.
Okay.
And these statistics we are talking about is about the data concerning the different components she has mentioned. And it is very important as regards planning, both in education, in health, even national NIMC, and other sectors. And without these vital statistics, we may be just moving in the dark. Now, since we started the registration in Nigeria, we have moved, but we are not where we want to be. Well, there are challenges, but our present coverage in the registration of births in Nigeria is hanging around 50%. But as regards deaths, that's where we are having most challenge. It's still around 10%.
That is too poor.
Very poor. That's to tell us that we are not where we want to be.
No.
But the Commission is not stopping at that. We are doing everything to move to where we ought to be.
Okay. All right. Now, Sharon, let me come to you. What is the importance of civil registration in demography?
The importance of civil registration, when you talk about demography, has to be with the society, where people are staying, what is happening. It has to do with people, places, can I use the word tribes and all that. Has to do with the rural, has to do with urban, has to do with wealth quintile, you know, the social construct. These are all demography, and that's why we have the demographic service where you take. So for civil registration, when you situate it properly within the demography, you can see children, how many children are born in what area. For example, what we have seen is that many children in the urban center and of rich parents are registered. Children who have poor parents, uneducated parents, in very rural areas, in mountainous areas, in difficult and hard-to-reach areas are not registered. That is the difference. So with National Population Commission, the idea is to reach all the demographic sector, to be able to so that it can also help with the development. We've seen places where we don't have children. The women are menopausal, forgive me to use the word. Then you went to set up a school there. Who will go to the school? Then we have a place where there are so many children, so many families, so many people, there are no schools there. So this is the balance when it comes to civil registration and the demographic setup of a nation. The wealthy people register their children. That's part of the demographic, unlike the poor people.
Yes, I was actually watching a report earlier on done by a reporter, Shea Adiagbo, where a fruit vendor, right, in fact, opposite the NPC, and he was asked, did you register? Were you registered? He said, at that time for our place, we don't get that kind of thing. He doesn't even know what it is. Okay, now, Mr. Sunday, what are the different types of vital statistics?
Yes, like I said initially, vital statistics are the statistics generated from vital registration.
Okay.
And what even make it vital in the first instance? It's vital. These are events that define your status right from entry into life and departure, right from birth, marriage, separation, divorce, foundling, and ultimately death. And statistics are generated on all these variables. One, we need to know how many children are born. Where were they born? Where would they enter school? What is the health care requirement for such? Those who are in the rural area, those who are in the city, by age categories. We need to know how many people are dying.
No dying.
What is the cause of death? The National Population Commission is supposed to be a data bank for the country and advise federal government on these different variables. Let's take, for example, if the vital statistics, vital registration system is very robust and comprehensive, to a very good extent, it will reduce the burden of census.
Of course.
That's by the design. Then it will enhance planning. You don't just go and locate a school somewhere without knowing what is the number of children
In that place.
If we have the record of children born today, we will know in the next 6 years that they will enter school, so that we can plan ahead. And and look at National Identity Management Commission. Our output is their input.
Okay.
The National Population Commission gives the foundational identity upon which other identity management is built upon.
Okay.
Let's see it another way concerning deaths.
Okay.
The INEC PVCs. INEC needs to know how many people with their PVC that are dead. To the extent that the PVCs of those that are dead can be retired.
Of course, that's true. Wow.
And we need to know the age categories of people that marry. You know, you measure fertility through women. When we know how people are giving birth according to age grades, then we will know which age grade are giving birth. And you break it down, classify down to localities. So that, take for example, we just found out certain cause of death is killing some people in this area of the country. It is our responsibility, by the fact that we register deaths, to know
what is
happening here, and it is our responsibility to immediately alert the health to take action.
I didn't know that it entails so much, but we'll talk more after this break. Don't go away, stay with us.
This is NTA News 24 broadcasting from Abuja. You can watch us anywhere, anytime on the following platforms.
Start Times Channel 101, Freak TV Channel 703, GSTV Channel 419, and Go TV Channel 46.
For more information, log on to our website www.nta.ng or join us on our social media handles, Facebook at NTA News 24.
For comments, suggestions and inquiries, send an email to news24@nta.gov.ng or call us on the following numbers.
NTA News 24,
news and more news.
Welcome back. It's Nigeria Today, and we're still talking about civil registration and vital statistics. I still have with me Sharon Oladiji, Child Protection Specialist, United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF, and also Matthew Timidayo Sunday, Director, Civic Registration and Vital Statistics, NPC. He said so much. It's a huge responsibility. In fact, it seemed endless to me, and I don't know how they would be able to cope. They have enough staff, resources. We'll get back to you to answer that. But let me ask you, what is the framework for civil registration and vital statistics?
There's a legal framework.
Okay.
There are the policies. There's a workforce, like you said. there's the development, there's the documentation, ideally, and there's dissemination of the information on vital status for the awareness, for planning, for development. So across, even with the legal frameworks, we're still struggling because the Constitution allowed National Population Commission to register birth and death. Then the Constitution allows a local government to register birth and death. We're doing a legal review of all civil registration entities, only to find that within the NIMC laws also, there's something like registered birth. So within the legal frameworks, there's so much to unpack. So we're working with the National Population Commission to look at the legal frameworks, review it, revise it, and make it compatible with emerging trends in the country, in the globally and regionally. For example, even the way when you talk about the recording, the dissemination, we are now adding digitalization of the process. So for example, registering birth, when it's manual, we've seen incidents of babies having 2, 3, 4 birth certificates because they do not know the importance that you don't need more than one certificate, and they have the opportunity, like when we work with the health sector, during the maternal and child health weeks, where you have so many women coming, and then we support with birth registration. One woman will just get that, what's your name? They don't know that they don't need. So, but when it is digitalized, which is part of another framework that we're looking at, when it's digitalized, you can't do that. It's like passport. Once your data is captured, once your details are captured, once it's reported, it's recorded in a server. So these are all the frameworks that work. There's also the workforce. There's also working between the National Population Commission and the other civil registration entities. You just mentioned health, you just mentioned education, there's INEC, there's road safety,
Housing.
there's housing. So it's also broad.
Oh, yes.
So
Wow.
broad.
I asked you a question earlier. It's a whole lot of responsibilities.
Yeah.
What are the plans or what's in place to handle all this and ensure that everything is handled? For example, you talked about the death registration, which is about 10%. That's too poor. How are you coping?
Yes, you are very correct, and we are not very comfortable with the situation we have presently. And we have come to realize in National Population Commission that we cannot do it alone. And we equally have come to realize that collaboration and integration is the in thing universally. And that's why we now think out of the box and say we can't do it alone, we need to collaborate with others. And we approach the health sector. There are so many children that are immunized in what we call hard to reach areas. But the health sector have been able to reach those children. How do you get to reach them? So we went to the health sector, we talked, and we agreed on partnering. So that as those children are being immunized, they are equally registered. And we didn't even stop at that alone. The traditional institutions, we equally approach them. And that's why even in some of our registration centers are located in rural area, in the palace of traditional rulers. And then the religious institution. In Nigeria today, if a child is being christened, it's either the pastor or the imam. And if there is a death, somebody will do the prayer, it's either the pastor or the imam. So you find that the religious entity is very central to us, and we are collaborating with them to capture. The simple fact is that Nigeria is a very big country.
Yes.
And government cannot do it alone. So we need, there are some low-cost initiatives, but of very high impact that we can do that will bring us results. And that's why we are not resting on our course.
Okay.
We are approaching partners that we believe can help us.
But do you have enough personnel? Do you have enough resources?
To be sincere, there is no way the commission alone can handle the enormous number of the personnel needed. But let me give it to the management of the commission, the chairman and the board. Since this, our chairman came in, there has been a lot of changes. There have been a lot of initiatives. Like she mentioned, the issue of the digitalization and the automation of our CRVS processes.
Okay.
This initiative brought by this present team have gone a long way to rectify some of the gaps we are experiencing.
All right. Now, Sharon, let me ask you. Can there be completeness of birth and death registration, seeing that people give birth every day and people die every day?
It's difficult to say there'll be completeness where we are today. But if we have like the theme of the CRVS Day that we're celebrating today, harnessing coordination, providing leadership, good leadership, high-level leadership, and commitment of government that are responsible, we can be helped. So, for example, we're talking about having a CRVS National Coordination Committee, which is made up at the ministerial level of ministries, departments who are civil registration entities. That kind of coming together, we can do a lot together to plan together. For example, if the Minister of Health is in support, the Minister of Digital Economy is in support. These are all the people that made up the. We have the Minister of Education. We have the Minister of Women Affairs. You know, we have Minister of Justice. So at that level, coming together, planning together, thinking together, rolling out programs and resources together, that is the only way we can, you know, reach completeness. But completeness, as it sounds, completeness in births, that means you register all births, then you register all deaths. We're not there yet.
We'll get there someday.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Well, that's it on the program. Today, we must thank our guests. It's been very enlightening. Let me thank Sharon Oladiji.
Thank you.
Child Protection Specialist, United Nations International
Children's Fund.
Emergency Fund, UNICEF. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Matthew Temidayo Sunday, Director, Civil Registration and Vital Statistics, NPC. We appreciate your presence.
Thank you so much.
And to you, our viewer, for always keeping a date. Don't forget the program airs weekdays at 7:30 p.m. And you can also watch this and other episodes on www.youtube.com/NTSnews24 Home. Thank you for watching. I'm Lydia Odidiochi. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.
Thank you.